There's been a lot of news and a lot of commotion lately talking about plant-based proteins and plant-based food alternatives. Recently, there was a massive Netflix documentary talking about the game changers, talking about people who only eat meat versus people who only eat plants and plant-based diets, and how those can compare as athletes, talking about actual professional athletes who are vegan and who are seeing health benefits from living a plant-based protein food life. Today we're going to talk about a company who's capitalizing off the plant-based nutrition, replacement food, whatever you want to call it, this revolution of plant-based vegan life. Talking about it right here in this video. The company is called Else Nutrition Holdings Inc. The ticker symbol is BABY on the Toronto Exchange, and on the OTC Exchange it's BABYF. Looking here at Else Nutrition and what is going on, what's the deal right here. So talking about the Netflix documentary and how a lot of people have started to think differently about living a plant-based life. I know personally when I watched the documentary I was like, man, it's a pretty real argument. And it's hard to argue the fact that maybe eating meat all the time isn't the best option for humans. So interesting fact, since the movie The Game Changers was released, the search term plant-based has gone up 180% since that movie has been released. So obviously people are actually looking up information about plant-based diets and things like that. And the old idea that the trend is your friend, well, it would make sense that a lot of people are looking into plant-based life, that there's probably going to be a spike in plant-based food sales. Currently, North America is leading the pack with $4.5 billion in plant-based food sales. This trend is growing and more people are talking about it. It's kind of getting out there social media wise. It's everywhere. People talking about being vegan, people talking about living a plant-based life. And it's hard nowadays to not see the different options at restaurants and things like that. When you go to a restaurant now, you'll see options of Beyond Meat, you'll see options of, plant-based burgers, things like that. So it's really catching on. It's getting to the point where it's everywhere. So definitely the idea here of playing into that trend of creating a product that's going to fill the need of people who are searching for that product. Else Nutrition Holdings, creators of a highly anticipated award-winning 100% plant-based non-soy infant formula and adult meal replacements. Founded by a trio that cut their teeth at Abbott and Nestle and amongst other major players in the food space, they've already raised $7.5 million. Moving beyond the meat replacement products such as burgers, pork, and chicken, the next potential breakthrough really is in the sipped, not chewed market. So even though it seems like everyone's talking about it, everyone's doing it kind of feels like it's everywhere, the whole plant-based thing. If we look at the tipping point here, we're still just in the early days of the plant-based revolution. So they recently did a study in the US, and it showed that over 80% of the respondents in the study were favorable of the Else Nutrition's product concept, being the sipped, not chewed idea. By looking at the company's recent share price increase, it's pretty clear that investors are also excited about Else's Nutrition plans to win the infant and adult meal replacement segments of the plant-based food industry. From December 6th till January 17th, the stock price went from 30 cents to 51 cents. That's a remarkable 70% jump in only a month and a half. And analysts are ranking this company as a strong buy with multiple indicators. So we're looking at the overall food-based market, and we're looking at the plant-based market as well. Since April of 2017, the plant-based food sales has increased by a whopping 30% compared to normal food that's basically remained flat. So Else Nutrition has a FDA approval ready breakthrough formula of 100% plant-based non-soy infant formula and adult meal replacements, and it's perfect timing. Through the underserved infant formula route, the company has an ace up its sleeve that many of the big burger producers do not. Milk allergies currently affect half of American food allergic children under 1 year old. Despite this, the vast majority of infant formulas are milk-based. According to a recent study from Weiser, 40% of current U.S. infant nutrition consumers buy a specialty formulation between a milk and soy-based formula for their children. In formulas, it's important to note that 1 in 12 families today are raising their children on plant-based diets. That's nearly 5 million American children who will grow up eating plant-based food. Else Nutrition's award-winning baby formula is the only non-dairy, non-soy for this massive $2 billion market in the US. But it only gets better. The company just received a formal notice of allowance from the US Patent and Trademark Office for the extension of its existing patents to cover the market of adults suffering from malnutrition. The global meal replacement market is projected to reach $24 billion by 2025, growing at a 6.9% during the 2019 and 2025 period. Else's Nutrition's patent composition provides the necessary proteins, amino acids, and other nutrients needed in a single food serving. By entering into the adult meal replacement market, Else Nutrition has significantly widened its net and made a statement to many of the bigger names in the sector to take notice. Through the sale of vegan baby snacks, bottles, and accessories in Israel, they are already generating revenue of $800,000 in 2018. So what type of growth could be expected with a US successful launch? So we look at Else Nutrition, BABY, compare them to a company like Tyson Foods. Tyson Foods is a $32 billion market cap. You've got Hormel Foods, which is $24 billion market cap, and Nestle, which is $307 billion. Now you compare that to Baby Else Nutrition, which is $26.4 million. So you can see there's still a large move waiting to happen there. The world's largest producer of infant formulas, which is Nestle, recently filed an international patent for its own vegan formula product. Now, Else Nutrition's leadership team has its own former ties to Nestle and a portfolio of past baby food products. Ahead of the USA market launch, its toddler formula received a favorable regulatory assessment from the EAS Consulting Group, which conducted a preliminary review of the Else's formula in view of the FDA requirement. So talking about upcoming products to increase revenue for baby. Now, if we look here, initially, most of their sales will be made online through an e-commerce store via the Amazon shop and select e-commerce sites that specialize in organic, natural, and specialty food. Else's infant formula is being prepared for clinical testing for FDA EMA approval, with a commercial market launch estimated within the next 2 to 3 years. With its samples ready, Baby is currently undergoing pre-production scale-up runs. Else's formula meets the WHO Codex for Infant Nutrition and is medically endorsed by leading pediatric experts and is receiving highly favorable results from consumer test studies. But there are even more advantages to talk about. From an IP standpoint, the internationally patented Else formula composition is completely free of several things that discerning parents and consumers watch out for, including GMOs, gluten, traces of pesticides, hormones, antibiotics, and many other unfavorable additives. Else's science-backed approach brought about a cleaner next-gen production process and clean ingredient panel. Else's leadership team consists of proven winners in the food tech space, with an impressive combined portfolio and track record of getting new successful products to market with other companies. Else's management is fully capable of getting its proprietary plant-based products successfully to market. So just talking about some of the recent news here for Baby, Else Nutrition has developed an award-winning infant formula, the first 100% plant-based, non-dairy, and non-soy alternative of its kind. They've already generated a revenue of $800,000 in 2018 in Israel alone, with a market-ready toddler formula, kids nutritional drink sets to launch commercial sales in the USA for Q2 of 2020. They've gotten a strong buy rating from multiple analysts. They've got co-founders from Abbott, Nestle, and ProMedico. Their formula is superior tasting. It's free of dairy, soy, hormones. It's free of dairy, soy, hormones, chemicals, antibiotics, glutens, and GMOs. It's patented in the US and 19 other countries, with an additional 46 countries patent pending. Science-backed formula with a full amino and fatty acid profile meets the gold standard nutritional composition values of breast milk and patent extended for adult consumption. Medically endorsed by leading pediatric experts and highly anticipated by parents and caregivers in recent US study. Clean label product, sustainably produced with a minor ecological footprint. If you want to learn more about this 100% plant-based revolution and you want to learn more about BABY, check out the links down below.